I was just laid off from my job, and as a single mom with a kid to feed and no backup plan, I had no idea what I was going to do. 60 days later, I made $38,000 flipping real estate contracts from my laptop in a city 2,000 miles away with just a $500 budget. No team, just me and a plan I refused to quit on. Hey everyone, my name is Toddy. I'm a virtual real estate investor who's closed hundreds of deals since then in cities thousands of miles away. And in this video, I'm going to break down the exact process that I used to go from broke single mom to $38,000 in just 60 days. But let me be clear, this wasn't easy. I earned it. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I went from a broke single mother to $38,000 in 60 days and show you the repeatable process so you can get your first virtual deal done too. If you've been trying to wholesale, watching videos, taking notes, but still haven't done a deal, this is the video that you've been waiting for. All right, let's get into it. After losing my job, y'all, I was desperate. I didn't have much savings, and I didn't have a plan A or B. I did have YouTube, a laptop, and a phone. So I did what anybody with their back against the wall would do. I took the advice immediately that I saw on YouTube, and I started cold calling the very next day. 10 hours a day, every single day. I would write down every lead on a yellow scratch pad, their name, number, the notes, and at night I'd pull comps and I'd figure out what the property was worth, what buyers were paying cash, and I would make offers. Everything I knew came from YouTube, Google, and just taking massive action. And I messed up a lot, okay? I didn't understand contracts like I didn't understand assignment law. I literally assigned my second deal to 2 buyers by mistake, and I got chewed out by the title company, which I'll tell you more about in another video. But basically, that's how new I was. After my first deal, my very first deal, I'll never forget it. It was a man who had just lost his father-in-law. He owned a duplex with a squatter in one unit and a Section 8 tenant in the other. I could literally hear the frustration in his voice. He just wanted to be done with it. I had just lost my stepmom, and that's how we connected. We both actually started tearing up on the phone. 2 complete strangers, grieving in different ways, just talking honestly about all of the pain and the stress and how we both needed a reset. And that moment changed how I saw this business forever. Because I realized wholesaling and real estate, it's not really about selling and it's not really about houses. It's about helping people who need help. He told me that he bought it for $68,000 in some real estate trust. He was a software engineer from New York, and he had a lot of money. When I pulled comps, properties in that area seemed to be selling as is for around $20,000 to $25,000 cash. I offered him $15,000, and I thought he'd be insulted. Instead, he just got really quiet and was like, "Is that the best you could do?" And I really struggled. I was just like, "Yes." And I was shook when he said, "Fine, send the contract." That's when it clicked though. If you just care, communicate, and make realistic offers on deals that you can actually get done, deals will come. And at that point, I didn't have a fancy software. I didn't even have a CRM. I just tracked everything on paper, and that's totally okay because that's where most people actually start. My next step was finding a buyer. So I joined every Facebook real estate group that I could find in Ohio and Cleveland and in all the surrounding areas. And I reached out to the people that I saw were investing, and that was super easy because they're commenting on every good deal that pops up. Within a few hours, I had buyers reaching out to me, and I learned how to speak investor language on the fly. And also, the book on real estate investing by Jay Scott and the book on negotiating real estate helped me a lot. Within a couple weeks, I had that contract signed and assigned and made my first check. At that moment, getting that first check, which I have a video about it was just under $15,000, proved to me that I could get paid just using my brain, my laptop, and my consistency, which is everything. It's not just about the money. It was proof that I could rebuild from scratch. And that's where I learned the difference. Here's what I learned from that experience. Number 1, compassion closes deals. People can feel when you actually care. That's why that first seller even trusted me, because I listened. Number 2, volume wins. I didn't close one deal by luck. I made hundreds of calls every single day to get that first deal, and every no just got me closer to a yes. And I wrote that on a piece of paper and taped it to my wall to keep me going, just in the hard times when people were saying no and cussing me out. When I really wanted to quit, that kept me going. Number 3, keep it simple in the beginning. A legal pad worked for me better than any CRM at that stage. It also let me skip all of the analysis paralysis and jump right into what actually generates income. So don't overcomplicate it, just stay consistent. Number 4, mistakes teach faster than mentors. When I learned contract law, rehab values, and neighborhood grades, it wasn't through some mentorship. I learned it the hard way. And I'm not saying I suggest that, but for me, every single deal I did, the better I got. After that first deal, I repeated the same process over and over. Make calls all day, write the leads down, comp them at night, make offers the next morning. When I had to do dispo, I'd take some time out to call buyers and get that deal sold. Within 60 days, I had closed 6 deals and made $38,000 total. That initial lump sum of money gave me freedom. But what really changed me was the realization that I had built something out of nothing. This business isn't about houses. It's about ownership. Ownership of your time, ownership of your confidence, ownership of your life. If you've been thinking about quitting, don't. You might be one phone call away from a completely different future. If this story gave you some clarity or motivation, subscribe to this channel. I share the systems, scripts, and real stories that actually work for me and hundreds of others. And in my next video, I'll show you the exact virtual wholesaling setup that I use and I will use next year as well, so you can start doing deals from virtually anywhere.